Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. I was just about ready to watch a movie, and you are more than welcome to watch it with me. It is a film on the 2005 Ashes series between Australia and England. From what I understand, the 2005 Ashes is maybe possibly the considered the best ever. I a few months ago I didn't even know what the Ashes was, and I had never seen cricket, so I'm no expert. But from what I've learned recently, 2005 was quite a big deal, and this is a film about it. We're going to look at part one today. If you like it, let me know in the comments, and I'll make a part two and a part three, because in only a couple of months, the 2025 Ashes is being played, starting in November. So this is a little head start, a little thing to whet the appetite for the Ashes. Like I said, I never heard of the Ashes until a few months ago, and now I'm really looking forward to it in November. Strange how things change. So like I said, let me know in the comments if you want to see part two, and I will definitely get that out. While you're there, maybe subscribe also. That would be helpful for me. So this is a little long video. I'm breaking it up into pieces, but let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it. The story of the greatest Ashes series of all time, England versus Australia, 2005.
Summer 2005, England, in the grip of a highly contagious virus. It's arrived from abroad, and millions get the bug. The symptoms? Tension, dizziness, anxiety, and joy.
You're cursing and praying and screaming and gibbering and drooling.
Yeah, the ache is so bad,
Australia, England for the Ashes, one of the greatest, if not the greatest sporting event that exists on planet Earth.
It's been going on
This
100
summer,
years
a little
plus,
piece of
I
history
think.
was made. England
And they
came
play it
here
every
to
other
fight
year.
an epic sporting battle. And over 2 long months that frankly felt like 2 long years, a whole new legion of cricket fans were, well, quite simply mesmerised by the deeds of Andrew, Freddie Flintoff, Michael Vaughan, the captain, and
Freddie
KP,
Flintoff.
Kevin Peterson. They did what no one thought was possible. They beat the best team in the world, and they won the best prize of all, the Ashes.
From what I understand, Australia had won either quite a few in a row or
When we beat Australia,
many
it is a
of the
joy
last
that you
few.
cannot
They were
possibly
dominating.
transmit or communicate to others. It is so intense. It radiates your whole being, and you skip on air for weeks. When we lose to Australia, oh God, we kind of laugh.
Shane
I
Warne.
think the Australians, my wife's Australian, so I can say this, are fundamentally chippy.
It's a good catch. It is a very good catch.
A freaky series, freaky things happen.
This time, if we beat Australia, we're the best team in the world.
Yes! Magnificent!
And Flintoff is a distillation of the historical aggression with a sort of equality and fairness. I love that big boy. He can bowl.
I felt sick.
You could call it a love-hate relationship. I loved them and they hated me.
It's the convict's revenge, isn't it? Let's be candid. It's unquestionably all those old prisoners
He looks familiar.
coming back up from down under to slaughter the vicious pigs that dispatched them in the first place.
Has there ever been an Ashes series like it? Lords, Edgbaston, Old Trafford, Trent Bridge and the Oval all witnessed some of the most remarkable
drama,
cricket
what
anyone
drama.
can remember. And entering the Test Match Hall of Fame, 3 new heroes. England's Kevin Peterson and Freddie Flintoff, and the skipper, Michael Vaughan. Men who helped make the impossible happen, bringing home the Ashes for the first time in 18 years. It's the greatest cricketing prize of them all. So sit back and let Flintoff, Warne, Vaughan and Peterson be your guides through
lot of
5
drama.
epic Test matches that made it an unforgettable summer. 2 months when we all got a serious case of Ashes fever.
I'm not sure if Shane Warne was in his prime at this point, or if he was still young, or he was getting a little older. I don't really know when
Since you're probably 7,
when he
8
played.
years of age, it's don't let the Poms win anything. They can't win. And I suppose all through me growing up, I saw Australia basically win the Ashes just about every time.
Please, please, somebody help us beat Australia.
This time, England were not only determined to beat Australia, they were also quietly confident. Not since the days when Ian Botham was in his pomp and England held the Ashes. In 2005, men like Freddie Flintoff were ready to emulate that remarkable achievement.
Freddie Flintoff is, like Shane Warne, he's one of those people who lights up a cricket field, and like Ian Botham famously before him. There's a sweet gentleness about him. He has soft eyes, and he's kind of attractive, but not in a ludicrous kind of model type way, but in a good
not
English
in a ludicrous model way.
The first test began on Thursday, July the 21st, at a packed Lords. Conditions were perfect. More than half the England team had never played an Ashes match before. By contrast, the Aussies wore their battle honours with pride, more than 700 caps between them. But had they ever sampled an atmosphere like this at Lords?
Noise level just rose and rose. So the moment they stepped out on the pitch, it was like nothing they'd ever experienced before. And the sense of expectation was very high. And the adrenaline was pumping.
Like
and
such a
everyone was
formal game.
Come on, this is
when
it.
they're all wearing white.
This was it,
Like,
and the adrenaline
very,
was in overdrive. But
very
it was England
English.
who were pumping. Australia were rocked by English aggression.
It's the second time this morning that Harmison has... Well, that's cut the Australian captain. It was very noticeable to me that nobody went to ask Ricky Ponting how he was.
Fila. Is Fila still around?
In cricket, it's usual that if an opposition player gets hurt and badly hurt, you go up to him and ask him, is he okay? It's the kind of etiquette, the done thing. Not one England player went up to Ponting, and it was very clear to me that they were trying to make a statement of aggressive intent.
Shaken and destabilised, the Australians began to lose wickets. England knocked over 5 for 87.
High in the air and will be caught, must be caught, is caught! Justin Langer has gone!
How do you tell which team is which?
It's the very slow raising of the finger.
The Aussies began to fight back in the shape of the fearsome
maybe the
Adam
hats.
Gilchrist.
The hats are the only thing that might be different
As
colours.
the sort of samurai sword of the Australian team. You know, they're all got flashing blades, and he's the one with the really big blade that's going to come and sever the head kind of at number 7 and kill
Green
you off.
and blue. I mean, green for Australia, I think. Blue for England.
That one is crunched once again.
Gilchrist had taken 26 from 19 balls. He was challenging Flintoff head-on, and then...
We targeted the fact that we thought Gilchrist may struggle against him. We found that out in the one-day series.
Oh, did some homework and got him. That's good.
Pitched up. He's gone. 6 down. 120.
This documentary must have been shot not long after this happened, because the players they're talking to were still very young. It couldn't have gone, that much time had gone by.
26, the real key player is out.
How big a wicket is this? You just have to look at the response from Flintoff and all his teammates rallying around this excellent fast bowling at the moment.
That's good stuff from Stephen Harmison. Fast and full and straight.
After Flintoff's success, Steve Harmison took over. He finished with 5 Australian wickets for just 43.
Now then, this is a difficult chance.
Is that a press box for the press up there in that unusual looking building?
But in the end, he steadied himself, which is just what you have to do. Good one, is it? It's out.
Did it hit off the bat?
It really roared back off the seam. And again, it's this extra bounce that Harmison gets.
Well, that's got to be clear. That's got to be out. Yes, he's got plum LBW. Harmison has struck again. Beautifully bowled. Harmison absolutely spot on target there and ends up with figures of 5 for 43. A wonderful performance. There were plenty of us at the start.
Like I said, this is part one of what would probably be 4 parts if I did the full movie. So let me know if you like this and if you want to see part 2.
The series were of the view that Harmison's contribution was going to be vitally important.
It really was a blazing start. England had knocked over the Australians for 190 before tea on the first day of the series.
Before tea.
You kind of had to pinch yourself as a reminder that this was the best team in the world we were playing. Mind you, the euphoria wasn't to last long. England's bowlers had attacked the Australians with almost ferocious intensity on that first day at Lord's. But the mark of a champion is the way in which he comes back fighting. And let's not forget that Lord's is a second home of the incomparable Glenn McGrath. England's batsmen walked out to face McGrath just before tea on the first day, and he soon had them rattled.
Oh, well, that's beaten him. That's a cracking delivery.
Glenn McGrath is a bowling machine. He's a metronome, really. He just runs up and he bowls and the ball lands on the same spot, ball after ball after ball.
Glenn McGrath is making the ball seam back a long way.
Straight after tea, with England on just 10, he struck and seized his 500th Test match wicket.
First ball, that's 500 for McGrath. Wonderful cricketer. Brilliant bowling. A wonderful delivery.
The trouble for England was that McGrath was particularly deadly at Lord's, where a unique slope of the pitch helped his attack.
And what happens is at Lord's, with a slope, which goes like that, if you're the batsman facing McGrath, what he does is he lands some balls and some will go down the slope and some will go straight. It's just a sort of vagary of Lord's, really.
Wouldn't that be the same for all bowlers, though?
That's another edge.
Got him. Beautifully caught by Warne. Taken very low. McGrath is amongst them.
Caught by Warne.
It's like he's bowling for the under 11s at one stage, but that spell was phenomenal and shows why he's one of the best fast bowlers in the world. He's has been for a long period of time, and to come out and do that. You know, people were writing him and myself off saying that, you know, we're too old and all those sorts of things, and they won't be able to back up match to match, and I think we basically put that to bed.
He's changed his boots and he's knocked over the big prize, 18 for 3.
When Vaughan was clean bowled after a brief and uncertain time at the crease, England stood at 18 for 3.
Oh, he's the captain.
Australia had fought back and restored the natural order.
Oh, he's so good. Glenn McGrath is so good. Oh, Flintoff gone too. This is brilliant. 5 for McGrath.
McGrath had reduced England to 21 for 5 and gained his 500th Test match wicket while at it. England's memories of a fair fight the day before must have been fading fast.
The day before. So even though this is multiple days already, it's still the same match, correct? I don't know any other sport that would be like that, but I think that's what this is. Multiple days, though only one match.
And that made a real clanging sound. It darted back down the hill.
It's like a cartoon
once
sound.
again is something. We're really seeing some bowling here at this moment. Flintoff a duck, 4 balls, 7 minutes. McGrath the wicket, and it's 21 for 5.
The next target in McGrath's sights was new boy Kevin Peterson on his Test match debut. He'd been a controversial selection, but it seemed his go-get-'em attitude was perfect for the occasion.
I wanted to go out and just enjoy it and have fun, take it all in. I mean, you're playing against Australia, first Test at Lord's, 21st of July. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. And if you can't get enjoy it, you can't enjoy it, then what are you doing there?
Right back up the middle.
Here's Jason Gillespie.
The way he batted in that first innings, you know, it was like he was playing his 100th Test match, let alone his, not his first.
It's good play. It's a nice measured stroke from Kevin Peterson.
Crucially, Peterson wasn't intimidated by the Australians' big reputations.
I don't care who's bowling at me. You've got to concentrate on the ball. That's what you've got to hit. You're not hitting McGrath, you're not hitting Warren. You're playing the ball. It's bat on ball. It's not man on man.
Quickly as well.
I think it's just a mental toughness. You just got to get through, and you've got to focus on the job to do.
Easier said than done, but it looks like he did it. How old was this guy, Peterson, at the time? He looks young.
Wonderful shot. 50 up for Peterson. Half century in his debut test match.
He's got all the talent in the world.
That must be uncommon, 50 in your first.
Peterson was on 57 when his innings was ended by a spectacular catch on the edge of the mid-wicket boundary.
Oh, wow. Think about how much more he would have maybe got if that catch hadn't been made.
A wonderful debut innings from Kevin Peterson, 57 on 122 for 9.
It fell to two bowlers, Simon Jones and Steve Harmison, to deliver
It's
the
a
other
long
big
run.
batting surprise of the day.
Chasing that one.
Finds the gap, 4 runs.
In the air, this is going to be caught a bit off. That's it, all over. Brett Lee takes one ball of his new spell.
I don't know who's winning this match.
England's valiant lower order took the total to 155. But that still left the team 45 behind the Australians at the end of the innings. When England came out to bowl, it was crucial they took the game head on. But Australia was still looking dominant.
Same guy at bowling?
Lovely shot. Just easy as you like. No bludgeoning there.
That's a beauty. That's where Giles can get himself into trouble. That's the first ball he's bowled that's been short.
England's spin bowler Ashley Giles was brought on for a spell, but he quickly proved too expensive.
Wow, that's really
He's going into the
slowly
spinners again.
on
He's
his
not
way
going to let
to
Ashley
the
Giles settle.
batter.
More runs here.
That's really, I think that's the slowest spinner I've seen in my limited
down the
time.
pitch, and the pressure being applied to Ashley Giles.
Oh, that's a good way to get going.
And the ball just jumps off the
superimpose
bat.
Mark Waugh over that shot.
Australia were piling on the pressure, and they kept coming. The new boy, Michael Clarke, began to threaten.
Australia needs something from Michael Clarke now.
There was a brief moment of hope for England. Early in his innings, Clarke gave Peterson a simple opportunity.
What you'd say about Peterson is he's an effervescent kind of electric kind of character. But the downside is if you've got electric hands, they're not so good for catching. And what he needs to do, I think, is kind of somehow take night nurse or Valium or something before he fields, so he's a bit more relaxed for catching, because that drop of Michael Clarke on 21 at Lords in the second innings, Australia, was vital.
It looked like it was hit pretty hard. Like a tough catch.
That's a good 50.
He went on to make 90, changed the game in Australia's favour, and you know, Australia really dominated it from that point on, and it looked like the same old England. Here's Harmison with a new ball, and there's Katic with a cracking full stroke.
Dropped it.
That seemed
Was it luck? Or
like
was
an
it
easier
nerves?
catch than the one the
Either
guy
way,
missed in the
things
field.
weren't going right for England, and Australia began to look more like their old selves.
4. 50 arrives for the Australians.
There we go again. They've let themselves down badly in the catching department. Oh, he didn't know anything about that one. Got him, no, dropped him. This is unbelievable.
It's on the hand, that's nasty. It's on the right one as well.
Oh, that should have been caught, definitely.
Finally, Simon Jones took a fantastic catch to dispatch the Australians. That left England with a daunting 420 to chase.
Wow. I don't know a lot about it, but I know that sounds like a lot of runs.
He latches onto it, no trouble at all.
And on the afternoon of the third day, things got worse for England. He's called Shane Warne, and arguably, he's the greatest spin bowler of all time. More than a decade ago, none of us had seen him when he stepped up to bowl that first ball against England at Old Trafford.
In 1993, we'd heard that the Australians had a guy called Shane Warne, some blonde leg spinner. We knew we could cope with this because we had Gat. Mike Gatting had murdered every leg spinner in county and test cricket for the preceding decade. Warne ran up to bowl the first ball.
Gatting, from seeing it on middle stump, suddenly sees it on leg stump, opens up.
It hit the pitch, turned, spun miles across him and hit the top off stump.
Wow, that was
Gatting
the first
didn't believe it.
ball?
The delivery was one of the most famous balls in Test match cricket, and Warne wasn't going to let us forget it at Lord's.
That is out, surely. Did it? Well, he's looking at his bat. Perhaps it did hit the bat. That's out.
Oh, man. Wow.
Oh, that's out. Caught behind. Big neck.
It's...
Trying to smash it through the offside field. A disappointed Flintoff.
Wow.
How can a guy who bowls at the speed that a milk float travels cause
What's
so
a
many
milk
problems?
float?
Young batsmen look like foals on roller skates kind of playing against him. How does he do it?
A lot of people say I'm not as good anymore, or I don't spin the ball as far, and all those sorts of things. Well, I think through this series I've spun the ball further off day one, day two pitches than I ever have. And some of the deliveries I bowled, the one to Andrew Strauss, and there's a few others around about this series that, you know, as far as I've spun the ball ever.
Missed by a whisker.
This was probably before
I didn't want to lose. I hate
replay.
losing.
Not that that would have mattered there, but I'm wondering
well, that
if this was
I
before
think you can tell by
replay.
the way I play, I don't like losing.
He threw a hard one.
Big
Or hard
smiles all
for
round
him.
there. It wasn't a bad bouncer, actually.
Or fast one.
Had a plan to each batter, and they worked for most of them.
That's
That's
That is
wild.
the straight one, the slider.
By the time Harmison had fallen prey to the infamous slider, it was as good as over for England. McGrath came in to finish what he had started. England lost. They were thrashed, all out for 180.
McGrath has picked up another wicket. 4 each for McGrath and...
On the first morning, England had looked like winners, but it was too good to be true, and it all seemed a little too familiar.
180 in 58.1 overs. Peterson not out 64.
So that's the first
It was so
match.
depressing because we'd had that fantastic morning session at Lord's, first day. Australian batsman hit on the head, bowled out for 190. Awesome. What everybody wanted to see, Australians cut down to size, and then suddenly, not only were England bowled out cheaply in reply, but then they dropped catches, bowled not very well, Australia got a big score and won the game, and it was almost like it was just a flash in the pan, that first innings.
The spotlight was on England
Yeah, I
for
think
all
Australia
the wrong
was
reasons.
supposed to be the better team.
And the press and the Australian coach singled out Giles's performance for special attention. One critic even said that playing with Giles was like playing with 10 men. But in fairness, the comparisons with Warne give him little chance.
That's
He's
probably
basically
true.
someone who can do a job, maintain pressure on batsmen, give the fast bowlers a break. And he's not going to run through you. He's not going to get 7th, and he's not going to get 600 Test wickets like Shane Warne. Now, from time to time, if he has a bad game, he's gone from an important cog in the wheel to being something that doesn't work.
Giles defended himself in his own newspaper column, making it clear that the New England would only be strong if they stuck together.
England were 1-0 down and the Vultures were circling. England don't have the mind, they don't have the bottle to beat these Australians, screamed the pundits. Mind you, no one, least of all those pundits, could have written a script for what was to happen 11 days later in Birmingham.
Well, there you go. There you go. 11 days later in Birmingham. No, he didn't say that. Birmingham. 11 days later in Birmingham. I don't know how to say it. But anyway, 11 days later. So that was part 1. It was pretty interesting. A lot of drama. So I guess England lost that first match. That's part 1. If you want to see part 2, let me know. I'm happy to do it. We'll go through the whole video and see what happens with this match. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see part 2 and 3, etc. And while you're there, maybe you could subscribe too. That would help me out. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.